1-2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins. Fires. A perfect game! Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia.
Line drive, right center field, base hit.
Ground ball over the mound. Waiting for it. Muncy, he booted it. One runner's in. Here comes Wynn, the throw. Save! Harper hits one in the air, left center field. Back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life. Fastball hit to left. It is long gone.
And Hamels with a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball, deep center field. Herrera back on the track, and did he make the catch? He fell down and he's got.
Here's the strike by Robinson. The 3-0 pitch. Swing and long drive. There it is. Number 500. The career 500th home run.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bill's Masters Podcast. This is episode 11. With me, as always, is Jen. How you doing?
Hey everyone.
And we are live this time. I am your co-host, Kylie. I mix everything up. Oh my goodness.
Well, you know who I am now.
Yeah, at this point. All right, we are brought to you by Fired Up Sports Podcast Network and Manscaped, which we just extended our sponsorship with. So shout out Manscaped.
Shout out. Thank you. Thanks to everyone for your support.
Yes, absolutely. It means the world to us. But with that comes a new one. So get ready for this. Again, if I laugh, it's because I'm immature and excited. So. All right.
Here we go.
I'm already laughing.
Not because we don't love Manscaped and don't think they have
it's literally because they are so great at doing this, and it's supposed to be funny, and it's funny, and it's great. Okay, so roses are red, violets are blue. Our friends at Manscaped have a gift for you. Breaking news, Manscaped are now selling beard products. That's right, the leaders in grooming are revolutionizing the men's hygiene game yet again with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This cordless trimmer has a rotary reel with 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more easy drawers, no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. You hear that, ladies? No more messy drawers. Plus, he can sculpt his look however your heart desires to fully unlock his bearded confidence this Valentine's. Even better, save 20% off and get free shipping by going to manscaped.com and using code BELLSMASH. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit is the ultimate Valentine's present to give his Cupid an arrow from Manscaped this V-Day. 7 million men trust Manscaped with their balls. It's time to trust their hair up top with them too. With this new kit, take his grooming routine to the next level, and it all starts with the Beard Hedger. This electric beard hair trimmer is a premium beard sculpting machine. Along with having only one guard leaving little mess, it's also waterproof. He can shave in the shower to avoid all that hair in the sink or bathroom floor. The titanium-coated T-blade is tough on hair, but smooth on his face, leading to single-stroke efficiency. Manscaped and Valentine's Day are the perfect pair, and the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit doesn't end there. They have created 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for his post-trim hygiene. First, there is a beard shampoo and conditioner. You need to remember your man's hair is different. Beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on his head. That's why the kit has made shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, replace natural oils, and promote beard health. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil. No one wants a guy whose beard is brittle and dry. Nice rhyming there. The oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath while adding a little shimmer and shine, making him look extra fine. Or you look extra fine, you know. Cap off the kit with a beard balm, a pomade that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and fames for a sculpted look. The Beard Hedger Pro kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure he has all the tools for a perfect beard. From first impression to last, you're going to love it, and he's going to love it. No one likes a weird beard, so say goodbye to all your stubble trouble and tame his mane this Valentine's. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code BELLSMASH at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code BELLSMASH. Spice up V-Day this year with Manscaped Beard Hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths.
Do it.
Okay, there we go.
That was amazing. And just a reminder, most of you know this, but your beard is part of your personal hygiene, so
Yes.
take care of it. And
Absolutely.
especially with Manscaped products, you know, you won't go wrong. They'll be high quality. And yeah.
Can confirm it's high quality. And honestly, they're just great for they have everything for whatever you need. So honestly, they're your one-stop shop now with adding beard stuff. So just check them out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now
Let's get into it.
let's get into tonight's episode. All right. So the Phillies signed Josh Harrison to a 1-year, $2 million deal for depth at center field / infield, wherever we need him. Seems like this is their last move.
I think so.
I don't see what else we would need. Well, you could always get more, but I don't see what else we would get before the season even starts.
Yep.
He did play with he was on our roster for spring training. What was it, a couple years ago?
Yeah. They brought him in on a minor league contract after 2019, and he was one of their final cuts out of summer camp 7 months later, right before the weird 60-game season in 2020. And I did not remember any of this, so that was a good reminder.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that too. And when some people were saying Phillies legend, I was like,
What do you mean?
what? Yeah, I was like, wait. But here, let's pull up his stats real quick. He previously has played for the Pirates. He's played for the White Sox, the Athletics, and quite a few other teams.
Yeah, he's 35 years old, so he's a veteran. I
Yeah.
think with so many young guys on our team, also it never hurts to have another veteran, you know, in the clubhouse with you. I think that's a great addition that way. He's very versatile. He's played all over the diamond, and apparently, you know, he can be depth in any position. So
Yeah. So on Baseball Reference, he is listed as second base, third base, and outfield. So the versatility he has will really help with Castellanos being DH.
mhm.
It'll help with, you know, giving Stott a day off. If Bowman and Stott both need a day off, you can have Sosa and Josh Harrison at the same time.
Yep.
So he adds a pretty key piece to the depth. He batted .256 this season, hit 7 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 27 RBI, .317 on base percentage. So he gets on base average, or not average, but like essentially 1 at bat a game he would get on base.
And if you're a Phillies fan, you know we are notorious for leaving men on base, but at least he gets there, so gives you more opportunities to score.
Yeah, with you just saying the leaving runners on base, that was probably the most aggravating thing this season.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had so many chances in so many games to just destroy teams with runners on base, and we just couldn't do it.
That's right.
And so I think with Trey Turner being added, that's really going to affect a lot as well.
Yes, I'm optimistic about not leaving as many men on base, but we'll see.
Well, we're always optimistic about everything. Right
I know.
Now.
We try. We try.
We try. It's not always easy, but we do try.
We do. We do our best.
But what was it? What's today? Friday. So it was yesterday. Was Truck Day?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday or Wednesday? It's yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday, Thursday.
Getting closer. We're what, 12 days away?
Yeah.
Yep, 12 days away. And aside from the obvious Trey Turner, who would you say are you most excited to watch in spring training?
Ooh. The first person I thought of, just because I've been seeing on Instagram stories, was Nick Castellanos. I just want him to do well after last season, like have a consistently good season. So it makes me excited to have him, first of all, have a full spring training with us, and then,
healthy.
Hopefully he's healed from all his injuries. And that would be my choice. Who is your choice?
I would probably say, Andrew Painter is an obvious one too. I'm going to go with Taijuan Walker.
Nice. I'm glad one of us picked, a pitcher.
I had to. I love my pitchers. I am going with Taijuan Walker because it's going to decide who gets the ball on the third day.
Mm-hmm.
Walker, Ranger. If it's Walker, that's good for Walker because we all know how good Ranger is.
Right.
So if Walker shows to be the day 3 starter, that can only mean that honestly, that is what I want. Because not only is Walker making quite a bit of money, but like I just said, if he's getting day 3 over Ranger, that tells you something.
Yeah, it does.
But we do have a lot of prospects. Rojas is going to be there. Abel, Painter, McGarry. Like the 4 big guys are going to be there.
It's exciting about how many players that you will want to watch and keep track of during spring training. I feel like a lot of fans, don't pay as much attention to it. I'm guilty of that as well. But this season, coming off of being in the World Series and having on top of that, having great prospects that are coming to spring training and will get playing time, it feels very special.
It does. And last year was the first year I really actually paid attention to spring training like thoroughly. And I really wanted to focus on Bryson Stott because I had been hearing that this could be the year. And I had always been trying to focus on him because I knew he was our guy. And so I had been trying. And so I had heard that this could be the year. So I really wanted to focus on him. And this year there are so many to focus on.
So many.
Like,
It's a good problem to have.
it's a very good problem to have. And do you think Painter is going to make the opening day roster?
I honestly don't know.
He's the only one with the shot.
Yeah, I agree with that. We've talked about before about maybe he could come in later in the season, and I think I would prefer that. I really, again, based on our past experience, we don't want to rush this. They really should take their time.
Yeah.
They feel that he's ready on opening day, I guess, start pitching a couple an inning or two, but that makes me nervous.
Yeah, because, I mean, with how good this guy is looking, he just looks fantastic. And it makes you nervous because we've had so many prospects in the past look that good. We haven't had one that's been this good. We haven't had the top pitching prospect or the number 5 overall prospect.
Yeah.
Is he number 5 or is he number? I think he's number 5. Or is he number 8? He's whatever he is, top 10 for sure. I don't think we've had that. And if I remember correctly, we were all excited about Alec Bohm when he was coming up. I think he was brought in later in the season, if I remember correctly. I don't think he was on opening day.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I think they did that because they wanted an extra year of control. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that as well, because if he looks great at spring training but not good enough necessarily to make opening day roster, to make a difference on the roster immediately, they're going to put him in AAA, get him going, and then call him up later when the roster opens up or something.
Right.
But it obviously is a fear of him not turning out. There's always that fear in the back of my mind.
There is that fear. However, he's so good that I really don't think. I think that it will go well, whatever they decide, and he'll do well in the major leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to be one that actually works out.
Mm-hmm.
Another member of the daycare actually working out, hopefully.
Yeah.
I hope so. Now, you wanted to talk about our origin stories.
I did.
For being a Phillies fan.
I did.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, it's very important. It's important to me because my parents are immigrants from the Philippines, and when they moved to the United States, my dad, his way of learning the culture, acclimating, getting used to getting along with coworkers was talking about the games. So he watched all the major.
That's an accurate assessment.
Yeah, right. Actually, when they first moved, they were in Ohio, but they didn't spend as much time there, so he didn't pick up any Ohio teams. Once they got to the Philly area,
thankfully.
I know. Once they got to the Philly area, then he really got into it. So, growing up, my brother and I just spent a lot of time with our dad. My mom is not a sports fan, but we spent a lot of time with our dad just in the living room, watching the games, and that's how we learned too. And he would teach us about the players and, all the players that were playing when he first moved to the U.S. and how they were as we were growing up. So that's just like my sports fan experience in general, my Phillies sports fan experience. With the Phillies, particularly when I was in middle school, that was like Jim Thome, Bobby Abreu, like their kind of peak time with the Phillies. So that was, those are kind of my first players I remember watching and rooting for. And then came Chase Utley. And so I was the perfect age to be like, I am in love with this man.
Of course.
So he's forever. Yeah. I've said it before, my favorite Philly of all time, but just like aside from, just because I have such great memories of like crushing on him, but also appreciating how great of a baseball player he is. So that's really what got me into the Phillies. And then at school, the other kids, the boys would actually talk to me because I knew how to talk about sports.
Yep.
I genuinely liked it. So that's my origin story.
And you always get the question, name 10 players on every team.
And you know what? One of the reasons we want to start this podcast is because we still get that question, and it's sexist, and you should never ask someone that question. It's stupid. And so if someone asks me that present day, I like to say, okay, where would you like me to start? If I'm talking about the Eagles, offense, defense, would you like
special teams?
Would you like their jersey number, their position, their height?
The state they were born in?
Seriously. Most of them, what college they went to, like, bring it on.
Yeah.
There are female fans, female super fans. We exist, and we're awesome.
Yeah, I love being tested.
Your turn.
As we all know. No, I was gonna ask before I did. Tristan, I will get to your comment in a second, I promise. Who is the first player that you remember for the Phillies?
Probably, like the first, just because he was so like major. Jim, like I was saying, Jim Thome. I think there were, the guys before him when I was in like elementary school and things, but I don't remember them as well. And then of course with Chase Utley came that was when I was like late middle school, then my high school years. That was Utley, Howard, Rollins. Like that was really the start of all of those core guys. And so peak Phillies baseball, peak fandom. So that was awesome. What about for you?
See, it's funny because we have a little bit of an age difference.
Just a little.
But the first player I remember for the Phillies is Jim Thome. My uncle, he was the first jersey I ever had. And I became a fan for life of his. And when he got traded to the White Sox, my parents bought me a Jim Thome shirt for the White Sox, and I went to a White Sox Orioles game because we live in the DC area, and it was for my birthday. We got tickets, and it was hot as hell, and they were pitching in the dugout, and this is not Jim Thome specifically, but this memory I have. The catcher, I think he was the starter. I forget who it was. But he was just like having a conversation with me because I was the only White Sox fan in the entire stadium. Because who's a White Sox fan anywhere but Chicago?
So were you like 6 years, like 6 or at this time around that age?
I think it was around there. Yeah, because Ryan Howard had been coming up, so. We went the day Bobby Abreu got traded too. I think that was when we went to the Phillies game, to the White Sox Orioles game. But yeah, Thome was definitely the first guy I remember. And I mean, my family's from Philly, so they're all born and raised. I'm the only one that's not from Philly. Have the displeasure of being born in Maryland. And we would travel all the time. My parents always wanted to do things on the weekends, and especially when the Nationals came down to DC from Montreal and they played at RFK, we'd go to games, and then they built Nats Park. We'd obviously go to games. And I mean, you're born a Philly fan. If your family's from Philly, it's genetic.
You have no choice.
You have no choice. So growing up, I always knew Eagles. Growing up, I always knew Phillies. That's my family really only cares about baseball and football. A little bit about basketball, but not enough. So
Yeah.
I had to graduate to basketball for the Sixers, but it's in your genes.
That's so interesting because the Sixers were my first team that I really paid attention to, because when I was in 5th grade, that was the year that the Sixers were in the championship, and like, again, peak Allen Iverson years. So that's when I really started to get into Philly sports. And then again, a couple years later when I was getting into the Phillies, like, it seems like you were like just this little kid, but you and I were getting into it at the same time, which is cool.
That's funny. The Sixers were always bad when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So I never really cared about basketball, about Sixer basketball. And, it was Michael Jordan, and then it was Gilbert Arenas, and then John Wall all for the Wizards. So, but I graduated to the Sixers eventually when I started getting into basketball.
And that's a good point. Jordan's, Chicago Bulls years, that's when I was around like 5, 6. Like, that's when I was like, oh, this athlete is everything.
Right? Exactly. Our guy Tristan gives his origin story. His grandfather took him to a game at the Vet in 2002, and he immediately fell in love with the Phillies. Yeah.
I have vague memories of going to the Vet, but I know I've been there. So to see the Eagles and the Phillies, what an iconic stadium.
Yeah, the Vet is an interesting place. I don't think I ever saw a game there.
And I remember the day they imploded it or whatever too. I remember
that. I do remember that. I never went to the Spectrum. I never went to the Vet. I wish I went to the Vet.
The Spectrum was pretty awesome too. I mean, I guess because I saw literally everything from like the circus to like, Disney on Ice. Probably like Disney on Ice, sports games. They did it all.
They still do it all. Well, it's not the Spectrum anymore, but
yeah.
That's really funny though, because like we do have an age difference, and we were just learning the Phillies at the same time, and then the golden years happened and cemented our fandom forever.
That's right.
It tricked us. Wasn't supposed to be this good.
Seriously. But yeah, been through a lot of heartbreak too, obviously. That's part of it.
Yes. Countless heartbreaks. Aside from the World Series this year, aside from the 2009 World Series, and then 2011 with Ryan Howard just obliterating his Achilles. Aside from those 3, obviously the most heartbreaking parts of this century's Phillies history, what would you say is the most heartbreaking other than that?
After Ryan Howard's injury, I mean, when those guys started leaving the Phillies, Rollins, Utley, and then, going to the Dodgers, it's just, I mean, it could have been worse, but
yeah,
still painful. And same thing, Allen Iverson being on another team, it's happened to a lot. Brian Dawkins being on another team, like it's not natural, but those are all moments that stick out in my life, like very surreal and weird, but they were real and very heartbreaking. What would you say yours are?
At first I was gonna say losing to Atlanta in the COVID short year to make the playoffs. But then you reminded me that Jimmy Rollins got traded to the to the Dodgers, and that hurt a lot more. Victorino leaving also hurt. He was one of my favorites.
Same.
Hunter Pence, for some reason, leaving made me really sad.
I liked him too a lot.
We all love Hunter Pence, but
you didn't think you would be that sad when he left?
No, I didn't. I remember my cousin was like in love with him. Got on the Jumbotron, actually.
Nice.
On Fanavision. It was really funny because she made a sign and everything, and I still make fun of her for it. Now, you wanted to ask this question, like, which I assume stems from us asking, who are you most looking forward to watching in spring training?
Yep.
And you wanted to know, what are you most looking forward to this season?
I did want to know. And
I got to know what you think. Your thoughts.
It's hard to put into words. There's so many things. Seeing Trey Turner in a Phillies uniform.
On opening day, dude, I can't wait.
Like, we've seen, he's taken the photos already, but he hasn't played a game in the uniform yet.
No.
That's absolutely number one for me, but I just also really miss the Phillies. I miss all of them, all the players, just seeing them, spending the evenings watching them, seeing their chemistry on the field and off also. When they have fun, it makes it so much more fun to watch. And so just following this Phillies team and their journey, and some new, besides Trey Turner, Taijuan Walker, as you mentioned. We talk about all of them. Andrew Painter possibly coming up soon. There's a lot to look forward to.
Now, I'm going to go a different route with this.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to this year's postseason run.
Love that.
Now the reason isn't because we're chasing a World Series. No. I want to see how this team can back up last year. The Mets literally did not improve at all. They swapped.
Yep.
Maybe get a pitcher for an extra 5 games, 6 games. Still not a guaranteed win. We've shown we can beat the Braves, clearly, and we can bother the Braves, give them 4 hours of hell. It's got to be the Braves.
It was.
It has to be. We were unhinged against the Braves.
Absolutely.
I had never seen anything like that, and I have been to Eagles games. I've never seen anything like that.
Me neither. It was absolutely wild.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, I'm not going to say we're going to win the division because this is on paper. On paper, it's one of the toughest divisions.
Yeah.
Especially the toughest division in the National League.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not, saying give me the NL East, but I'm saying, can you back up last year's magic?
Yep.
And maybe not World Series. Asking for a repeat of a World Series appearance is probably too much, realistically.
Yep.
So backing it up would just cement this era of Phillies baseball and show us that this is going to be a watchable team for years.
Yes, you're exactly right. And we've talked about this before, but the players experienced this postseason run last year. They made it all the way to the World Series. They are very eager to do it again. So they're going to do whatever it takes. And I do think they will, once they get in the groove of the new season and with all the new guys, they will do it.
Yeah, I mean, like UK Philly said, 2 weeks ago? He was saying that he thinks that this team just didn't feel like it was finished last year, this past season. And so they're gonna have a different attitude this year. They're gonna have, like, hey, we should have won those couple games and won the World Series. Like, let's do this again. And I think it's gonna make for a great era, not just a season of Phillies baseball.
I agree. I think this is a new era. It's not just going to be a one-time thing. They will be consistently winning for years.
Yeah, I think so, because what told me this was when they released Didi, and they fully committed to Stott, and when Segura came back, which clearly worked.
That trade deadline too. With that, when we got Marsh, Syndergaard, these pieces that genuinely helped with that playoff run.
Yeah, absolutely. I do wish we brought Thor back, but it's seeing John Middleton act the way he acted, and when we finally got rid of Girardi, I'm not even gonna be nice. I hated Girardi. I tried to be nice. I tried to be, supportive of everybody. And Girardi as a person, loved the dude. But as a manager, I'm so glad we have Topper.
I agree. The difference is so apparent.
Yeah.
The players were quoted being like, wow, we can really be ourselves. That means they couldn't be themselves under Girardi.
Exactly. And when I think it was the game Harper came back from his apparently torn UCL, he said playing the young guys and a couple other things, and I was like, wow, they did not like Girardi.
They found ways to throw him under the bus in their interviews without actually saying it was him, but it was obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, before Girardi got canned, all the comments were saying, like, play the young guys. Why is he not playing the game after he just had like a 3-hit game or hit 2 home runs or whatever stat line one of the young kids had? Why would you not play in the next game and let it continue? He would just bench him.
Yep.
So it's the faith you put in the young guys, the energy that they bring, it's unmatched.
Completely unmatched.
And it clearly, like, I'll say this till we'll always talk about this because it just I cannot believe the difference the two managers made. It literally blows my mind because when do you ever hear JT say, I love you more?
Yeah.
Or, at the end of Topper's speech, he would always go, how many more, JT? And JT would always be like 9 more, 13 more,
Yeah.
1 more, 2 more, whatever it was.
I
So
know.
it's
It's
insane.
and we're that's another thing to look forward to. A full season with Rob Thompson as the manager.
Yeah. And I mean, what's good about this is he's on a 2-year contract. So if, God forbid, I want to repeat this, God forbid, I'm going to say it a third time, God
God
forbid
forbid.
this was a fluky season and they were just riding off just some random hot streak, whatever, that I don't believe, by the way. But if for some reason it is, again, God forbid, it's a 2-year contract and we can him whenever.
Mm-hmm.
But when he shows that it's not a fluke and this team is good and he's a good manager, it's all going to work out and he'll be here longer, of course. But that 2-year contract is a security blanket.
Yeah. And also, they didn't have to do that during this season, but they did it, gosh, early on in the playoffs or before the playoffs started, something like that.
I think it was right before we beat the Astros in game 1, in the first game of that last series of the season.
Oh, okay.
The game that sent us to the playoffs. I think that it was right before that game, or it was... I can actually find out because I wrote an article about it.
Oh, look at you. While you're looking that up, yeah, I think, again, that them signing him to a 2-year contract, officially removing the title of interim manager, that was a huge deal. And all of the players, I've never seen this on. It's rare to see this from any professional team, where the vast majority of the players are reposting it on all of their social media, talking about how excited they were and just hyping him up. It's incredible. And again, speaks to how much they genuinely love him.
Yeah, it's... Like I said, I will be talking about this constantly because it blows my mind. Like, he... Oh, God. It was October 10th.
Okay.
And I want to say we did, in fact, play the Astros. No, I don't want to see the World Series. I know that. I don't want to talk
Wild
about
card
it.
weekend was October 7th through the 9th. I have it on my calendar.
So he got extended wild card weekend?
Apparently, the day after.
What? That's
So I
wild.
wonder, yeah, if they had lost in the wild card, what they would have done with him.
Or if they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because if you miss the playoffs, you're like, okay, we just missed the playoffs. Look how good we played with him. Let's see what he does next year. If he loses the wild card, regardless if we lose wild card or if we don't make the playoffs at all, I think it would be a huge debate, and Philly fans would go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Find someone else, find a proven guy,
Right.
is what one side would say. Or the other side would say, look how good we did with this guy. Let's try to get him back. Because remember, I don't know how many people know this or if you remember this. Tauber was going to retire after this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would he if we hired somebody else, he'd be done.
Oh, that's true. There's two sides to it. So he also could have said, let's say they lost in the wild card or they didn't make the playoffs. He also could have said, I'm done. So I'm going to retire.
Yeah, exactly. So it's when you look at every minor detail, it's insane.
All the cards just went in the right place.
They
All the
did.
stars aligned. Whatever phrase that you want to say, it happened.
It happened. It's still crazy. And Tristan, I'm sorry, I did see your comment. You said I used to hate Hunter Pence because he broke up a no hitter I had going on in the show with a bunt. Look, okay, so I can't even blame you for hating him because of that, because that's something I would do.
I was going to say, that reminds me of you, Kylie. I don't have MLB The Show, but my nephew does. So I play it with him. He likes to have the settings where, like the Phillies are always winning and they win the game like 46 to nothing. So a lot of times he wants to restart the game until he gets a home run with Bryce Harper. So he's just like you all.
I love it. When we lost the World Series, I put the game on the easiest setting. I had McCullers pitching because his World Series speech really pissed me off. He thought he did something when we hit 5 home runs. Settle down. Which, by the way, this is a hot take, and this might just be because I'm still mad, but I seriously think Astros fans are worse than Mets and Braves fans.
That's a hot take. I can't fully get across the finish line with you there.
No, I know you can't. I haven't met somebody yet that can. But I have a friend that's a Mets fan. I have a friend that's a Braves fan. I don't have any Astros fans friends. And they are, as soon as you say anything about them on Twitter, they are right there. Every time without fail. And so I've had to put disclaimers under my comments saying this is a joke. Please leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean that's aggressive. So that's bad.
Like, please just take your single World Series win and stop being cocky. Like,
yeah.
you have a good roster. Please stop being unlikable. Like, I would have been fine if we lost to the Yankees. I would have been fine. That's a hot take too. I know a lot of us hate the Yankees, but I would have been fine with that. I respect a lot of the players on the Yankees.
I do too.
But the Astros are just so cocky and arrogant.
Yeah,
and
they barely have any likable players, if any.
They don't have any in my eyes.
Yeah.
But that's just me being petty.
It's true though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely true. And nobody is denying how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
They've been under a microscope for 5 years, 6 years now, because of that scandal. Do I actually think they cheated? No. Will I make a ton of jokes about it? Yes.
Yeah.
Will you ever live down the 2017 scandal? No. And I get it because I would be sick of it too. But at the same time, when anybody accuses you of cheating, you can't blame us for accusing you.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just like nobody's denying how good you are. Why are you trying so hard to? I don't know. They've just been really irritating me since the World Series. Mostly because we lost. Like, if we won, I'll admit it. It's mostly because we lost. But they are so bad at winning.
Yep.
They really are, though. Because, I mean, at least Mets fans have come around to the fact that they're just regular season. They're just a regular season team.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Braves fans aren't as bad as Mets fans, for the most part.
Yeah, I agree.
Except that one Twitter account that I'm not going to name because they're not going to give it attention. You all know the one. But I forget where I was going with this.
I couldn't tell you.
But I don't know. It just feels like maybe it'll change during the season. But I don't know.
That's okay. We don't have to like it, fans of other teams, especially ones that beat us in the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I don't think anybody can disagree with that one.
There you go.
I can accept losing. That's fine. That's not what this is about. Yeah, you guys beat us, whatever. But it's the way they went about it after.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kicking a dead horse, beating a dead horse.
I'll say that. Like, yeah, everyone, of course, national media and just everyone who isn't a Philly fan always gets on the Phillies fans and other, just Philly sports fans in general. But other fan bases are really toxic.
It's not just us.
Yeah.
I don't know how many would chant DUI, but I know it's.
And that was deserved.
That was. Hey, you're not. Hey, I was one of them chanting it. You're not going to see me giving them any pity on it.
There you go.
I think that's a good way to end this episode.
I agree. Keep following us on all platforms, Bell Smashers Pod. Don't forget about 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using our code BellSmash. And yeah, anything else to add, Kylie?
I just need the season to start.
I know. Let's get here already. I will be reporting from whenever after spring training, I will be going in a few weeks.
Have you gotten your ticket? You've gotten your tickets already, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous. I haven't officially gotten everything settled yet, but I'm close.
So yeah, it's getting closer, everyone.
It's getting closer. Yes. Only 12
more days.
Yeah. Only 12 more days.
There will be Phillies baseball this month. Just because it doesn't count doesn't mean it's not there.
There's exciting things, prospects to watch. Meaningless baseball is sometimes fun to watch because there's nothing you have to worry about. Just enjoy the game.
Stress-free.
Sometimes that's just the way to go.
Yeah, and we don't get a lot of stress-free Phillies games, so enjoy it while you can.
You're telling me. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Use code BellSmash. They have beard products. Everything, dude. I'm telling you.
Toiletry bag. Yeah. Trimmers, toiletry bag, whatever you need. They probably have it.
Everything else, everything you need. We appreciate the support. Couldn't happen without you guys. So we'll see you guys next week on that.
Thank you.